Holy smokes, I am live on YouTube again. So, through some sort of miracle, YouTube has given me my account back. I did not see that come in at all. You can find the videos on Odyssey and on Rockfin. But cool, a little win, although they deleted my Patreon and other things, and Spotify started to delete random accounts. So who knows what's going on? But if you're seeing this, this is amazing. I haven't done YouTube live in a long time, so put a comment in there. If you have a question, put it in there. Hopefully I'll see it. I'll just to test how this thing works. But I wanted to do a video basically upon the idea, what if we already won? So I've heard this before through many different means. People say that we've already won through Project Looking Glass, which is very fascinating just to look into within itself. If you don't know about Project Looking Glass, look into that. It's so fascinating. But then you've got, some of the Q narrative stuff, right? And I don't know, I don't really buy into that. Like, I hope the military is in control. That would be fantastic. But here's what I think about, that in any of these rabbit holes, always apply the formula for truth. So I follow a lot of people. A lot of people, they might have an idea of the way things are going, and I'll follow them just because they have, I learn a lot. Like, I learned a lot of things I did not know. So one of them that people really can't handle is like the flat earth one, It's like I had David Weiss on the podcast. He, I was resistant to that whole thing. I don't know if it's flat. I don't know if it's round. I don't know if it's a flying pizza crust. I also shared in a video, I think it's on Odyssey or on I shared it recently, like, what do we actually know? Oh, it was in my coaching group. What do we actually know? Well, I've been thinking about this a lot. I know for sure we know our intention, and that's the most important thing. I know what my intent is. That's the most important thing. Let me know if the sound's okay as well, because I got these headphones on and my beard is massive. I know what my intent is, but I also know what I can do. Right? I know that I can do a kickflip on my skateboard. I know that I could probably defend myself in a fight. I don't know, if the person's better than me or not, right? There's a lot of mystery. So we live in a great mystery, right? So I know my intent and I know what I can do. I know I can drive a car pretty well. And that's basically it. Do I know if the earth is round or flat? For sure? No, because I'm getting information through a screen that can be manipulated, and I've never been high enough. I've been on a plane, but I can start making these discernments. I was like, okay, well, show me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so when I look at the two arguments, right, versus it's this versus that, right? COVID is the deadliest. I shouldn't say that. I'm already gonna get deleted. I already deleted me once, so I don't know. So they say, this is the deadliest thing ever. Oh, then we realize there's 99.9% chance of survival. So you look at the two arguments from two different people, then you see, oh, interesting. Well, that makes a lot more sense. And you that's why we have debate. So anyway, let's get back to the point. So what if we already won? Well, we need to find the most empowering perspective for what's going on, because we need to take reality for what it is. So I do think that we influence our field. I do think that there is a mass consciousness effect, a mass awakening effect. And a lot of this, these global elite who are manufacturing this are pushing humanity into a corner. So for example, I've done martial arts my whole life. I'm pretty good at it. I get my butt kicked in the UFC because they train all the time. But I'm pretty good, especially for your average Joe. So I'm never going to fight in real life, unless there's really a need to, like the most important need ever. Someone is just getting dummied. I need to protect them. I need to protect myself, things like that. Then maybe I'll get into combat. But if you keep messing with me and you don't give me another option and I have to fight, you're probably going to get smoked, right? So what these elite globalists are doing is they're forcing humanity to rise up. So if we look at every bit of their plan and what they have, right? And we are in a war, make no mistake about it. This is the greatest war humanity has ever faced. These guys want to create a new structure of society that is absolutely terrifying if you look into it, you read their books and what they want to do. But if you look at it, I was like, okay, well, Australia, for example, they have basically martial law going on there. We have police, messing with grandmas and children and stuff. It's just disgusting. They're forcing the hand of good people to go do something, right? To go ahead and actually take an action. So the more they try to clamp us down and force us and take our rights away, it's going to come down to am I free or am I a slave? And so all the people on a fence are going to say, oh man, like, oh great, I can see these comments. So they go up and down. Let me see if I can Top chat. Hold on, guys. Forgive me. Live chat. Let me see. Oh, all right, great. I can see that. This is very great. Okay. Keep commenting. Thanks, guys. It's great to be back. It's such a wild battle. If you want to support the show too, I should say this. Plug. I really never plug my stuff. Go to mattbelair.com. Become a member. You can do so by donation. Even throw a dollar or $3. Zero. I don't give a crap. But if you want to support the show, they did delete the crap out of my stuff. They did cancel my Patreon. It is a bit of a pain in the butt to work full time on research and doing this content, and I want to make it better. I want to do more stuff, and maybe get a VA or something. So if anybody wants to support, that'd be fantastic. Best way though, leave reviews, share this in Messenger. The censorship is absolutely extraordinary. If it weren't so evil, it's just impressive. So anyway, as they force the hands of people, and they're going to do this like in France, right? Great. What if I were going to like architect this, and I was the global, architect for the good guys, knowing what these bad guys want to do, which if you don't know, they want to restructure the financial system. They want to destroy the middle class. They want to put everybody on the government teat. They want to install a cryptocurrency, so all your data, all your information is on your phone, and then it'll be a chip will be the end game. They want to destroy the supply chains through food, right? So basically worldwide fascism is the goal, and you can read in that Agenda 2030. Get on the World Economic Forum list. They just produced a video telling people what they want to do, which is essentially never go back to restaurants. 1984 type of stuff with the double speak, right? Social distancing pisses me off, and the amount of asleep people ticks me off a little bit. Well, I don't know about love them. I'm fine. I hear the word. Somebody wrote, you don't have to like what they do, you still love them. I'm not at that point. I can just allow them. I can have compassion. I don't know. Maybe if you're some sort of wizard, you could have love for them. There's a great Marcus Aurelius quote, because I did a thing on, what is it? Odyssey on Ryan Holiday, because Ryan Holiday was talking about how you need to get the needle, and I'm like, heck no. Quoting Marcus Aurelius, how Marcus Aurelius apparently would, tell everybody to get it. And then he actually quoted Jesus too, and it really bothered me. So in this quote by Marcus Aurelius, he talked about, today when I wake up, I'll recognize that people are surly and greedy and angry and basically ignorant and all this kind of stuff, right? But he goes, I do recognize that I have myself in them, and that there's this, that soul, that little bit of me, it's also in them. So we are in the same, so I can't hate them. So the idea there is an understanding of these people. So not to hate them, right? Not to put your energy in that, but put your energy towards a solution. And exactly. I don't buy into the, I'm into like the idea that, okay, they're doing that, but I'm going to focus on the solution, and because it's a waste of energy. If they're going to be architecting all this stuff that absolutely sucks, I can kick and I can scream and I can be upset about it. But am I helping anything? It's wasting my life force and my energy. So what can I do? What's the most productive thing that I can do? What's the vision that I can hold? What can I put into action in this time, in this space, in the moment of today, and seeing how the future will grow? So if indeed, these guys are going to do everything they can, they've ruled the world for a long time, and all people need to do is stand up. So now they are basically forcing people to stand up. They thought they were free in these free countries, in these democratic countries, and they're realizing that there was a level to this, and they're trying to architect global slavery to a whole nother level. Yeah, countries have been conquered and in slavery for generations, but most people, when I traveled the world and when I was a teenager, I didn't understand how we had war and starvation. And when I started to figure out how it was architected on purpose, nobody gave a crap because it didn't affect them. Human trafficking, nobody really gives a crap because it doesn't affect them. And so I think, wow, these problems are massive. What can I actually even do about it? And so I did little things when I could. I tried to spread awareness, used a podcast to help empower people, connect them to source, because the more of us that are connected to source and our vocation and our dharma and who we are, and we let go of the materialism that can distort our choices and our decisions in life, and connect and serve God or creation or our fellow man or what's good, then we're going to be a lot more empowered. And so that unity as a group, that collective, can affect change on a massive scale. And that's what we have here. We have this opportunity to affect things on a massive scale. And so with Australia, so if the globalists, sorry, I'm bouncing around here, but France, for example, they made it mandatory to show your vaccine identification in I don't know. I'm like, should I say these words or not? Because it's exciting just to be live and have 42 people here. When I was doing lives before, 5 or 10 people would show up. That's how bad the censorship was. So it's like, how do I communicate and get the word out? What am I just basically talking to myself in this screen? But anyway, France. They make the passports, so you have to prove your vaccination, but so you can go eat, right? Well, France is one of the greatest countries in the world at revolution and rebellion. You don't tell a French person what to do. My dad is French Canadian. I have a little bit of that in me, and they're a breed of people. They're annoying for a lot of reasons. The French. Sorry, again, I'm part French, so I'll take it myself. They can be very annoying, very very stubborn, but in this case is perfect. It's like, okay, globalists, go at like one of our strongest countries that do not take baloney. They know how to protest. They know how to have a revolution. They know how to say no, and they're going to architect it for the rest of us. You're not seeing these massive protests on mainstream media. In Australia now, the truckers are uniting. It's forcing people to unite. So although a lot of this stuff looks scary, and it is scary, if we can remain centered in our connection with the creator and creation, or what we're meant to do, we are, like a species, going to evolve, those of us who choose to anyways. Those who want to simply obey, they might be harmed. We might lose a lot of people. I hope that these shots aren't as deadly as some people are suggesting they are. So I hope for that. I pray for that. If they are as deadly, then unfortunately that's a real bummer. But for the rest of us, we're going to be fine. If you see what's going on, I think we're going to be fine for the most part, because it's so obvious. And they're still not making it, they're saying it mandatory, right? Say mandatory, required. You always have an option to say no. It's still consent-based. Yeah, they're trying to coerce you through all these different means, but it's still consent-based. Right? So I can't do this, fine. I won't go grocery shopping, fine. If I have to do, mail-in groceries, that's intense, I'll do that. But what am I looking to do? I'll go Amish. Maybe they had it right, just getting off the land. And if I have clean food, water, shelter, I'm fine with that. I can deal with that kind of life. I want to be around good people. And this is when you state your values, because what's most important to you? Your friends, your family, freedom, right? different things like that, opportunity to grow. And this is the greatest war we've ever seen. So we're going to need to, unite. We're going to need to, stop being obedient. So many people that are kind of like awake, they're like talking to people about this, and their work is going to make it mandatory. There's so many cases already where people had their work try to make it mandatory, and then a few of them got together, did the resignation, and then it stopped. So organize in your small area. If you're an educator, if you're in the public sector, now is the time to stand up and stand up with your fellow man, stand up with people who are around you, because they want you to think you're alone. You are definitely not alone. In any way. And even if you were the only one, then that's even more important for you not to lose your nerve, because you're the only one who's sane in an insane world. It makes it even more important to stay strong, because people need to see that. They need to see the opportunity for truth. And most people, they see it, but they're not aware. They have these blinders on. Blinders and blinders and blinders. But you stay strong, offer some truth, then somebody else stays strong, offer some truth. You're giving that opportunity for them to wake up, because ultimately they are only harming themselves. So for those people who see what's going on, we will find a solution. And if not, the next level of this, because I kind of really contemplate on these things, I go, okay, well, if I die, I'm all right with that. Like, I don't prefer death, obviously, because I don't want to. I have a daughter, and I enjoy life, and life is exciting. These guys are really throwing a wrench in there and pissing me off, but I do enjoy life. I know that I go beyond this and that there's something greater, so I'm okay with that. But I don't want to live in a world that is, I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to compromise and do things that I know in my heart are wrong because I'm being coerced, right? So if death is a part of that, then death is a part of that. And that's really what a lot of people are facing here, through all this fear. Is, oh, maybe I'll die from the Rona. Maybe I'll die from the needle. Maybe I'll die. We're all going to die. No one's getting out alive. But how your soul remains intact is a total different thing. How you view yourself on the other side is a total different thing. Maybe it's one big simulation of a test, because I can only experience the world through myself. You can only experience the world through yourself. So we're all player one in this simulation. And so how do you play the game of life in the most effective way? Well, knowing who you are is the most important thing. Knowing what's important to you is the most important thing. Analyzing your choices, analyzing why you do what you do, looking for opportunity to get in harmony with things that inspire you, with life. This is what's happening. This force is parasitical. It's a parasite. It doesn't create life. It leeches off of life. That's how this whole structure works. So we are made in the image of God, or we are created. We have the divine spark in us, soul, however you want to phrase that. And we have life force in us, and we create. And what these parasites do is harvest off us. And so we are actually the power. So with all of these things, what if each step that happens in this next unfolding, because it's going to be intense, what I think is going to happen is we're going to see a big wave of real deaths in around the world due to the people who got double jabbed. We know that because that's what happened in the animal studies. They didn't die from the initial shot. They died when they were reintroduced to the virus. I keep forgetting what it's called, cytokine storm or hyperimmune response or something like that. So that's what happened in the animal trials. So it's based on good evidence. And that will be a bummer. And they're going to blame it on the people who didn't get the needle, which makes no sense. These people make no sense anywhere, It's like, okay, you got to get one? No, you got to get two? Right, I thought if you get one, you're immune. You're not immune. Oh, you can still get it and spread it? Oh, okay. So if it's supposed to protect you, why do I need it? The sense is nowhere. We know what the survival rate is. We have all the data. But what happens is people, again, they don't want to look at this. They believe their television, and unfortunately, they're brainwashed. And that's where compassion comes in, right? Because it's a sickness. They've been duped. They're brainwashed. And so if we can be compassionate for those people, that it's better than angry, right? So you're going to go through your process wherever you are with what's going on and people trying to guilt you and all this kind of nonsense. But yeah, so I think that the good guys, or humanity, will win because they're going against life. How is a parasite going to beat the creator? It doesn't make any sense. If it kills the creator or creation, then everything will die and all humanity will perish, including them. But I don't think that'll happen because we are stronger. The human spirit is stronger. They can poison your mind, and they do. They can poison your food and water, and they do. But only you can poison your soul. Only you can make choices that go against that inner knowing, that inner voice that we all have. And I'm listening to Walter Russell now, that talks about the inner voice that speaks to us all. And that's our connection to, our creator, our life, or light, or however you want to experience that, however you want to see that. That's, totally up to you. But it's interesting. Who is that inner voice? Where does that come from? Why is it always talking to me? And when I almost died on Mount Everest, it was weird because you have the inner voice, but I had, so it's a long story, but I almost died on Mount Everest. I got caught in a snowstorm, and I started to get fatigued, and I started to kind of like pass out. And I heard a voice outside myself say, "It's okay, Matt, go to sleep, you'll be fine." It wasn't my inner voice. It was me outside of myself. And I was like, what the hell is that? Like, imagine you're an animal, you never had an inner voice, and all of a sudden you have an inner voice. That would be mind-blowing. So maybe this is an evolution. Maybe we're ready to take the next great leap as a human species. And it's those who don't take the devil's bargain and want to cooperate in this old system that we know is wrong, that get to take that evolutionary leap. So the number one thing is to get out of fear. You can't live in fear. Look at every battle or every obstacle as an opportunity. Look for ways to unite. Look for ways to adapt and respond. Humans are the most adaptive and responsive species on the planet. We are all connected to the creator and creation, whatever that is for you. I believe that that's true. And if they're going to get us with food is everywhere. Food is literally everywhere. We're going to be all right. So we'll figure it out. And it's important that we work together for this, that you help your brothers and sisters, that you look for opportunities to do something meaningful and helpful. So that's it. Stoked to be on YouTube again. Well, not really, because YouTube is evil shit nonsense. But it's good to be able to get a message out and have all the videos back. But we'll see. I just want to be able to communicate with you guys. So if I want to, you want to do Q&As, all the live chats, they don't show up after. So if there is a question, hit me up, matt@zenathlete.com. Get on my Telegram. That's one of the best ways, t.me/Matt Belair. It's a great way to get out a lot of information. So, people can share freely. If you haven't checked out the Choose Freedom Law Summit, I highly recommend checking that out, because there's a lot of solutions and there's a lot of community. Most people think you have to do something, it's required, and 99% of the time it is not required. There is a way around it. So if your work is coercing you to test, if your work is coercing you to get a shot, there is a way around it. Trust me. And we, we're like, you think about like alpha males, okay? Or sorry, well, for this whole politically correct nonsense, alpha male, right? Just because I'm a male, and that's what I'll say. I don't want to hear any shit about it. Alpha people. But if you're an alpha, right, you look at the wolves. Well, that one wolf will just smoke a whole bunch of the betas because that's the strongest one. Well, it doesn't matter if there's 100 sheep and 2 alpha people, knowledgeable people in truth. We will smoke them. It doesn't matter how many sheep there are. Our job is to stand in the truth and not to bend. We have the power. And that's, so no matter what they do with other people or your boss or whatever the case is, if you're standing in the truth, you are the alpha, you are connected to source and spirit. And we might not be the majority. You're definitely not alone. Don't get that mistaken. But the power of the people and the force and the energy that you are connected to standing in the truth is unbelievable. It's like, we got 10 million goldfish, and they're like, oh my God, there's 10 million goldfish, and they're saying you got to do it, and they're shaming me and guilting me, and like, oh my God, the goldfish are going to come get me. And then all of a sudden your dolphin buddies show up, and you're a dolphin. You're like, oh, holy smokes. And they're, I've also used the analogy that like humans are dolphins conditioned to be goldfish. So these dolphins basically are taking this needle and they're busting their sonar up. They're just about to get some sonar, right? And we were going to communicate in a wicked way and be able to jump out of the water, do all kinds of crazy stuff because we didn't know we could do it, right? So everybody's bunging it up because somebody's trying to sell the dolphin some crap. But we stay in natural, connected to the truth, to the divine, to our own evolution, to what feels right in our dolphin bodies in this analogy. Then all of a sudden, bing, sonar, and we have massive capability over all these people. And we realize even the people trying to, architect this stuff, we have way more power than them. So just realize, standing in the truth, the quality and energy of people on your side is unbelievable. And yeah, are you going to have to go through some guilting and shaming and nonsense and challenges? And yeah, you probably will. Just find a perspective, find some support, find groups that are helpful. You are definitely not alone. Know that you stand in the truth. Just do what is right to the best of your ability. Be kind and compassionate to yourself. Try not to be hard on yourself if you're one of those people that's so hard on yourself. If you have a job that doesn't support other people, I highly recommend considering finding a job or a vocation that does good for your community. It doesn't mean you have to, start a small business or do whatever. It could be just a regular job, but just make sure that job doesn't do harm. And if you have, I think we're all born with a life purpose, and I think that we're kind of in this because we're not connected to that. And so if you want help with that, that's exactly what the life purpose, the Soul Compass course is about. So you can get access to that. It's in the membership. You can get it there, and I'll give it to you if you want. And also the quantum heart hypnosis, that's what that's for. So, and it's not complicated. It's so not complicated. Just people don't do it. That's what's going on. And so getting more connected to who you truly are is going to help you navigate life better. You're going to be more fulfilled. You're going to find the friends and community that you need, and you're going to grow in the ways that are meaningful to you. So that's it. I appreciate you guys. I'm here for now. Check me out on Telegram. Like I said, we'll see how long they let this happen. Who knows? I would love to do Q&As or figure out how to connect with you guys, what you want to hear more of from me, what you need help with, what you have questions with. I was going to do it on Telegram. I was going to do it on here, but they limited the numbers and deleted me so bad. So I'm just trying to figure everything out and navigate it too, right? And someone said, what have you gained from this, telling the truth? And it's like, well, I didn't gain a lot because I deleted everything and made life a lot of challenge. But I gained experience, and I also did not compromise my soul. I didn't compromise who I was. I didn't lose any of who I was. I gained who I was. I strengthened who I was. So that's what I gained. And all the people out there, these influencers and health experts and blah, 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 that are bending the knee and promoting this and not saying anything, that's you compromising, that you're a part of the problem. You need to friggin' stand up. You need to say something. You need to grow a spine. And this cowardice and this fear because, oh, what if I lose money? What if the left yells at me, right? Yeah, it's probably going to happen. Got to deal with it. It's not comfortable, but it's the right thing to do. And so that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate the crap out of all of you. I hope that you are doing well. Remember, we are in this together in the right way, and that your consciousness and your decisions do affect the whole. Know that you have humanity and goodness and God and source on your side if you are seeing sense through this. So, there is strength and there is energy and there is courage, and you'll be celebrated at some point for your ability to get through this. So, big love. Have an amazing day. And we'll see you in another video. Peace.